Theresa May has called on MPs to fulfill a duty to deliver on the 2016 referendum in her final speech of the debate on her withdrawal deal. Closing the 8-day debate in the House of Commons, the Prime Minister said that a vote against her deal was a vote for uncertainty, division and the very real risk of no deal. Mrs. May spoke minutes before voting began on the government's motion and just one amendment, amid expectations that her blueprint would go down to a crushing defeat. She appealed to wavering MPs to back her deal as one that honors the vote of the referendum to leave the EU while protecting jobs and citizens' rights. AFP, Getty Images, addressing a packed house in emotional tones, she said, "This is the most significant vote that any of us will ever take part of. The time has now come for all of us in this House to make a decision that will define our country for decades to come. A decision that each of us will have to justify and live with for decades to come." Mrs. May said the 8 days of debate had seen the Commons at its most passionate, and that over 200 MPs had taken part. Parliament gave the people a choice. We set the clock ticking on our departure. Tonight we will decide if we go forward with a withdrawal agreement that honors the vote. I believe we have a duty to deliver on the democratic decision of the British people. The PM listed rival plans for Brexit and to thwart Brexit, highlighting what she said were the fatal flaws in each. A second referendum would lead to more division, she said. There would be no agreement on the questions, let alone the answer. She said MPs who opposed her solution would be opening the door to uncertainty, division and the very real risk of no deal. Crashing out without a deal, she said, would be no implementation period, no security pact and no reciprocal protection for the rights of EU citizens and Britons abroad. She said MPs had been entrusted with the sacred right to create a brighter future for the people. Tonight we can choose certainty over uncertainty, we can choose unity over division, we can choose to deliver on our promise to the British people, not break that promise and endanger trust in politics for a generation, she said. Because as members of Parliament we have a duty to serve not our own self-interest, nor that of our parties, but the people we were elected to represent. It's the people of this country that we were sent here to serve. The people of this country who queued up at polling stations, who cast their ballots so they might put their faith in us. It's the people of this country who entrusted us with the sacred right to build for them and their children and grandchildren the brighter future that they expect and deserve. And if we act in the national interest and back this deal tonight, then tomorrow we can begin to build that future together. Together we can show the people that we serve that their voices have been heard, that their trust was not misplaced, that our politics can and does deliver, that politicians can rise above our differences and come together to do what the people asked of us. That is the test that history has set for us today. 3 amendments from MPs were withdrawn after Mrs. May indicated she would seek more concessions to the backstop. She told Tory MP Edward Lee, who highlighted the permanent nature of the Northern Ireland backstop, in an intervention that she was open to creative solutions. Mrs. May poured scorn on Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn's claims that he could deliver a better agreement. A general election would just lead to 2 more months of uncertainty and division, she claimed. As the vote drew near, the pound has come under selling pressure. Sterling was trading down over 1% versus the US dollar at 1.273 and at 0.3% against the euro at 1.118. Some MPs claimed the Tory whips had calculated a rebellion by just over 100 Conservatives. Outside the Commons, pro- and anti-EU campaigners staged noisy demonstrations. More about Brexit, Theresa May, Jeremy Corbyn.